Hello student, welcome to our channel The Physics Point. And in the previous lectures we are just started discussions of the surface tension in the topic of the mechanical property of the fluids. In that lectures we are just discussed some different types of the terms and their definitions, the intermolecular forces, adhesive force, cohesive force, as well as range of molecular forces and sphere of influence. These things are we will discuss in the previous lectures, and in these lectures we are again discuss the same points, that is the surface tension with the help of molecular theory. Please take the heading, that is the surface tension. This lecture number 2 for the surface tension. Surface tension, that is lecture number 2. In the surface tension subheading, we just take the one of the theory, that is name is molecular theory. Molecular theory. Consider one of the vessels, one of the container which are filled with the liquid. I will be drawn on the board with the help of different types of the colors. Consider this is our container which will be filled with some liquids, and the liquid color will be different. They are filled with the liquids, and we take the surface film. What is the surface film? The layer of the liquid. Surface film which are discussed in the previous lectures. Surface film is the layer of the liquid which their thickness is the range of molecular distance or range of molecular force. Let PQ and RS, PQ and RS are the surface film on the liquid containers. What happens? That is, let PQRS is surface film, in the containers, and PQ is parallel to QR. PQ is the parallel to QR. Am I right? No. PQ is the parallel to RS. PQ is parallel to RS. And their thickness or difference between the two lines on the surface, that is PQ and RS, are the difference is range of molecular forces. त्यामुळे आपण याला काय म्हणलेलं होतं? This is the surface film. Okay. Then consider three different molecules having the different places. Consider A, B and C are three molecules. Let's consider A, B, C are the three molecules which are placed in the different places, or 3 points, that is A, B, C, and that is three molecules आहेत. तर a molecule A is totally inside the liquid. Okay, not taken any spelling mistake. This is the short form of the liquid. Then a point A, या ठिकाणी मी एक point A treat केलेला आहे. The point which are shown the yellow color, that is this point is point A. आणि या पॉइंट ए जागी जे मॉलिक्युल्स आहे, येलो कलरचे एक मॉलिक्युल्स आहे. देन दीज मॉलिक्युल्स आर अट्रॅक्टेड अनदर मॉलिक्युल्स विथ द सेम सबस्टन्स. म्हणजे हे लिक्विडचा एक मॉलिक्युल्स आपण ट्रीट केलेला आहे त्या ठिकाणी ए पॉइंट जागी. बट ही जी आहे या इतक्या रेंज मधल्या प्रत्येक मॉलिक्युल्सला फोर्स ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन एका फोर्सने अट्रॅक्ट करत असते. त्या फोर्सचं नाव आहे कोहेसिव्ह फोर्स. The force of attraction between the molecule of the liquid at which are placed at a point A and some range within this sphere of influences. Okay, and there are totally inside the liquids, the cohesive force are cancelled to each other or कॅन्सल टू इच अदर ऑपोजिट इन डायरेक्शन, इक्वल अँड ऑपोजिट इन डायरेक्शन. ठीक आहे, या ठिकाणी जो मॉलिक्युल्स आहे, कन्सिडर करा हा एक या ठिकाणी मॉलिक्युल्स स्पेअर ऑफ इन्फ्लुएन्स मध्ये, आणि या ठिकाणी देखील मॉलिक्युल्स आहे. या दोन्ही लिक्विड मॉलिक्युल्स एकमेकाला फोर्स ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन करत आहेत विथ द हेल्प ऑफ द मॉलिक्युल्स विच आर प्लेस्ड ॲट पॉइंट ए. या पॉइंट सोबत काहीतरी फोर्स ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन आहे, यांचा देखील फोर्स ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन आहे, विच आर कोहेसिव्ह फोर्स, बट दीज आर कॅन्सल टू इच अदर अँड नेट कोहेसिव्ह फोर्स, नेट कोहेसिव्ह force on molecule A, okay, on molecule A is 0, okay, on molecule A is 0. I will take one of the different points, that is point B. ठीक आहे, आता दुसरा पॉइंट आपण या ठिकाणी घ्यायचा. the point B is within the or is on the surface film. जर हा पॉइंट सरफेस फिल्मवर असेल तर ह्याची स्पेअर ऑफ इन्फ्लुएन्स अशा पद्धतीने याची स्पेअर ऑफ इन्फ्लुएन्स असते. डोंट थिंक अबाउट याचा स्पेअर ऑफ इन्फ्लुएन्स छोटा आहे याचा मोठा आहे. जस्ट इमॅजिन द डायग्रामेटिकल रिप्रेझेंटेशन्स, द स्पेअर ऑफ इन्फ्लुएन्स ऑन दॅट साइड. द मिनिमम एरिया ऑफ द स्पेअर ऑफ इन्फ्लुएन्स ऑफ द पॉइंट बी or the molecule B is less above the surface of the liquid and more inside the liquid. Then the adhesive force केव्हा असते, जेव्हा दोन मॉलिक्युल्स मध्ये फोर्स ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन आहे पण ते दोन्ही मॉलिक्युल्स डिफरंट सबस्टन्स ने बनलेला आहे. तर हा जो मॉलिक्युल बी आहे, द मॉलिक्युल्स बी फॉर्म्ड बाय वन ऑफ द लिक्विड which are inside the containers and the point is in here, they are outside the liquid surface or above the liquid surface. बट या दोन्ही मॉलिक्युल्स कशा आहेत, डिफरंट सबस्टन्स आहेत, त्यामध्ये होणारा फोर्स कसा असणार आहे, ऍडेसिव्ह फोर्स आहे. ओके, आय विल टेकन द मॉलिक्युल बी इनसाइड और इन द सरफेस फिल्म or on the surface film, on surface film, on the surface film, then the force of attraction or cohesive force is more than the adhesive force between the molecule B of the liquid molecules and above the air molecules. Okay, the adhesive force is less than the cohesive force of molecule B. Why? Because the more sphere of influence of the molecule B, जास्तीत जास्त जो का पार्ट आहे स्पेअर ऑफ इन्फ्लुएन्स ऑफ द मॉलिक्युल बी चा हा कसा आहे, इनसाइड द लिक्विड आहे, त्यामुळं ते कोहेसिव्ह फोर्स हा मोर असणार आहे. बिकॉज कोहेसिव्ह फोर्स आर दी सेम सबस्टन्स मध्ये असणार आहे, लिक्विड मध्ये किंवा गॅसेस मध्ये असणार आहे. बट लिक्विड गॅसेस मध्ये असणारा जो ऍडेसिव्ह फोर्स आहे, या ठिकाणी मॉलिक्युल्स कमी आहेत, त्यामुळे त्यांच्यामध्ये फोर्स ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन कमी असणार आहे. देन बी मॉलिक्युल्स gets attracted downward, this is the result. For this, the molecule B molecules gets attracted downward direction because the cohesive force which are directed downward directions. And another point, that is the point C, is exactly on the surface of the liquid. या ठिकाणी एक पॉइंट आहे, this is the point, our point C is the exactly on the surface of the liquid. That is, I will draw on the sphere of influence, that is exactly square, exactly circle, and the half part of the sphere of influence of the molecule C is above the surface of the liquid and half is the below the surface of the liquid. But the adhesive force is still less than the cohesive force between the molecules C, which are liquid molecules, and the liquid molecules are below the surface. बिकॉज द डेन्सिटी और द नंबर ऑफ मॉलिक्युल्स, जर एखादी एअरची डेन्सिटी कमी असेल तर नंबर ऑफ मॉलिक्युल्स पर युनिट व्हॉल्यूम कसं असणार आहे, कमी असते. त्यामुळे या ठिकाणी जी काही मॉलिक्युल्स आहेत, नंबर ऑफ मॉलिक्युल्स अबव द सरफेस, ओके, सी ऑन द liquid surface. Okay, point C on the liquid surface. That is point C on the liquid surface, and half of sphere of influence, sphere of influence of the molecule C, I don't write of the molecule C, is above the liquid surface and half is below. But the cohesive force are still more than the adhesive force which are acting between the molecules A and the air molecules which are present above the liquid surface. Because the number of molecules which are present on the surface, above the surface of the liquid within the sphere of influence, या sphere of influence मध्ये आणि आपले जे काही सरफेस पेक्षा वर जे काही मॉलिक्युल्स आहेत ते कमी आहेत ऍज कम्पेअर्ड टू द मॉलिक्युल्स इनसाइड द लिक्विड अँड विदिन द स्पेअर ऑफ इन्फ्लुएन्स. ओके, त्यामुळे हा फोर्स ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन इज अगेन डाउनवर्ड डायरेक्शन अँड कोहेसिव्ह फोर्स इज मोर. यामुळे जे काय आहेत या प्रत्येक मॉलिक्युल्स किंवा वॉटर मॉलिक्युल्स लिक्विड्स आर मिनिमाइज देअर सरफेस, मिनिमाइज this total number of molecules on the surface film are tries to minimize, and the surface film remains under the tension. आणि हा surface film जे काय आहे is remains under the tension, and this tension is called as surface tension. This tension is called as surface tension. This is not only theoretical part. What is exactly happened when we are study the surface tension? What is exactly happen? Some forces which are acting on the molecules which are present inside of the liquid or on the surface of the liquid, and some force, the force acting on these each molecules on the surface, they are acting the tangential force. Okay, and now let's start the discussions of the exactly meaning of the surface tension, definition and explanations of the surface tension. This is all about the molecular theory, which is easy to understand and important to asking in our examination. Explain the surface tension with the help of molecular theory, maybe 3 to 4 marks. The whole topic is only 7 marks. Okay, what is we discuss here? Surface tension. Surface tension definition, explanations, units, as well as dimensions, which are discussed in this lecture here. The definition: the tangential force acting on the tangential force acting per unit length on the both side of the imaginary line which are drawn on the free surface of the liquid. This is the definitions of the surface tension. The tangential force, acting per unit length, both side of the imaginary line which are drawn, on the free surface of liquid, on free surface of liquid. Okay, the tangential force, this is considered, this is the surface, and some tangential force म्हणजे tangential direction मध्ये अशा पद्धतीचा फोर्स ऍक्ट होत असते पर युनिट लेंथ वर विथ द बोथ साइड, म्हणजे दोन्ही बाजूला, बोथ साइड ऑफ द इमॅजिनरी लाईन विच आर ड्रॉन ऑन द surface, the imaginary line which are drawn on the free surface of the liquid. Let F be the force acting on imaginary line having length that is L, having the length that is L and tension that is T. Okay, I will draw one of the smallest molecules. This is our molecules. I will be drawn one of the line that is a line AB. Some forces acting, okay, the tension T is equal to force per unit length. That is the definition of tension and equation of the tension. Consider a point or a imaginary line having the imaginary line that is L, AB, having the length that is L be the length of that line AB. The forces acting opposite and the tangential force अशा पद्धतीने act होत असतात. They are opposite, equal and opposite direction. These are the straight line AB and some forces acting the equal and opposite directions. These are the forces. अशा पद्धतीने काही force act होत असतात. We just study the definitions and meaning of that. This is our liquid free surface which are drawn one of the imaginary line having the line AB having the length that is L and the force are acting tangential of that and opposite to each other. Then the directions of the surface tension is perpendicular to the line drawn, imaginary line drawn, which on the free surface. Okay, the directions of the tension is perpendicular to AB, and also the force is perpendicular to AB. Then the units of the surface tension we just seen here, Newton per meter. With the help of, we just drawn the unit with the help of the unit which are we are consider the units with the help of the equations of the tension under the explanation, under the definition, that is surface tension. Then the dimensions, the another one unit is joule per meter square. हा जूल पर मीटर स्क्वेअर कसा आलाय आपण नेक्स्ट लेक्चर मध्ये बघत आहे, जेव्हा आपण सरफेस एनर्जी बघतो. अँड सरफेस एनर्जी बघितल्यानंतर आपण रिलेशन बघायचं की सरफेस एनर्जी ऍज वेल ऍज सरफेस टेन्शन मध्ये काय रिलेशन आहे. इन द नेक्स्ट लेक्चर्स वी आर जस्ट डिस्कस, बट द dimensions is m0 L1 T raised to -2. Right, this is all about the surface tension, definitions of the surface tension. Before the discussions of the definition of surface tension, we just finish the molecular theory of the surface tensions. Okay, then the dimensions, I think dimension is wrong. It is m1 L0 and all about the surface tension. In the next lectures we are just to discuss surface energy, what is the definitions and meaning of the surface energy, and again discuss the relationship between the surface energy and surface tension. Okay, we are stop here.